It went according to plan.
6 months after being divorced and having my son taken away by my ex-husband, I found myself on a business trip, boarding a plane, and guess who was in the seat in front of me? My ex-husband, accompanied by another woman. Oblivious to my presence, they chatted animatedly. The emotions boiling inside me were indescribable. So, that's what it was, I thought. I vowed to take thorough revenge. What actions I took afterward led to their ultimate fate. Please stay tuned to find out. My name is Laura Brown, and I'm 32 years old. I work for a major multinational corporation. Despite the demanding workload throughout my youth, I found fulfillment in my job and enjoyed each day. Just before turning 30, something significant happened. My friend Andy, who was in the same club during our university days, introduced me to a man named Michael Smith. Michael worked for a small company, so his income was considerably lower than mine. However, his kindness drew me in, and we began dating. Michael assured me,
"Even if we get married, you can continue working. In fact, I'll support you."
Filled with joy, I married him. At our wedding, Andy, who had played a role in our initial meeting, joined us to celebrate. And so began the life together for Michael and me. We had been sharing household chores and enjoying a blissful newlywed life. However, just 2 months after our marriage, Michael suddenly quit his job.
The company's financial situation is precarious, and I'm also part of the downsizing plan. I decided to leave voluntarily.
His words conveyed deep disappointment. Michael had mentioned that he'd look for work again, so I decided to support him during this time. Yet, several months passed, and Michael remained unemployed.
I'm applying for jobs, but I keep getting rejected in the initial screening.
It's tough out there, especially with the economic downturn.
Being forced to leave my previous job shattered my spirit. I don't even have the motivation to fight in the job market anymore.
His vacant expression worried me. I suggested, maybe you don't need to push yourself right now. We can manage with my income. How about trying the role of a stay-at-home husband for a while? Michael's eyes lit up.
I knew you'd say that, Laura. Okay, leave the household tasks to me. I'll make sure you can focus on your career.
And so, Michael decided to become a stay-at-home husband for the time being. I don't hold the belief that men should be the sole breadwinners. I believe that couples should support each other in their daily lives. Given Michael's current vulnerability, I made the decision to work and provide for our livelihood. Despite my demanding job, I thought it would be helpful if Michael took care of household chores. However, to be honest, Michael's housekeeping skills were lacking. Meals often consisted of pre-made or frozen food, and dishes were left unwashed. Even with laundry, he'd simply toss it into the front-loading washing machine without bothering to fold it. When I pointed this out, Michael would come up with excuses like,
"I have a headache today."
It left me feeling quite frustrated. One day, after asking Michael to pick up my suit from the dry cleaners, I headed to work. But when I returned, Michael casually said,
"I forgot about the dry cleaning."
"Michael, I trust you with household responsibilities. Can't you be a bit more reliable?" I implored.
"It can't be helped. I wasn't feeling well today,"
he replied. "You're always claiming that. If you're consistently unwell, why not see a doctor?" I pressed.
"The doctor said rest would suffice. Are you ordering me to do chores for your sake?"
Michael retorted. Frustration welled up inside me. Of course, if he were genuinely ill, I wouldn't push. But from what I observed, He had an appetite and even went out during his free time, appearing quite energetic. Well, within your capabilities, could you put in a bit more effort with household tasks? I suggested. Michael shot back.
I'm already doing my best. Maybe you lack understanding for someone like me, feeling alienated from society.
His words left me speechless. Ultimately, I juggled chores alongside my demanding job, while Michael continued to neglect them. Shortly after that, I discovered I was pregnant. Michael was overjoyed and took great care of me. Thanks to him, I could experience a peaceful pregnancy and eventually gave birth to a sweet baby boy whom we named Liam. Michael enthusiastically declared.
Leave Liam's care to me.
During my maternity leave, he indeed helped with parenting. Encouraged by him, I decided to return to work after 6 months. I thought, Michael's support allows me to resume work early. However, when I returned home tired from work, I often found Liam's diapers overflowing, suggesting they hadn't been changed for a while. Despite our initial plan to make homemade baby food, I noticed many empty retort pouches in the trash. Suppressing my frustration, I reminded myself, it's his first time parenting, and he's still learning. After all, Michael was the one looking after Liam while I worked, and I felt grateful. Of course, I also contributed by preparing baby food in advance on my days off and handling nighttime fussiness. However, shortly after Liam turned 1 year old.
I can't take it anymore, Laura. Let's get a divorce. I want custody of Liam.
What? Why all of a sudden? Michael not only brought up divorce out of the blue but also took Liam to his parents' house without my consent. I tried discussing it with him multiple times, but he refused to engage. As a result, we went through mediation, but Michael remained adamant about divorce. To make matters worse, during the mediation hearing, he read aloud from his diary.
I've worked hard at housekeeping and parenting, yet my efforts are criticized daily.
He even demanded compensation for emotional distress. Of course, I contested his claims, leading to a tangled legal battle that eventually reached the courtroom. There, Michael boldly asserted,
I've been a stay-at-home dad, primarily responsible for parenting. I've secured employment, and our son is attached to me. It's only fitting that I raise him.
Furthermore, he denigrated me, claiming I neglected our child due to work and insinuating that I was an unfit mother. The jury seemed sympathetic toward Michael, viewing me as a neglectful wife prioritizing work over family. In the end, I lost the court case, and Michael and I divorced. I had to pay him $10,000 in compensation and a monthly child support of $1,250. Although we agreed that I could visit Liam once a month after the divorce, that promise was not upheld. Michael ignored my attempts to contact him, leaving me in the dark about how our son was doing. Despite feeling empty inside, I focused on work to ensure Liam didn't suffer any inconvenience. 6 months after my divorce from Michael, I found myself on a business trip, seated on an airplane. As I worked on my laptop, I suddenly recognized a familiar voice. To my surprise, Michael was sitting in the row ahead, engaged in lively conversation with a woman. Oblivious to my presence, they chatted.
Our plan worked perfectly. Thanks to my ex-wife's financial support, we're never short on money.
Yeah, thanks to the ex-wife ATM, we can afford this trip today too.
Hearing it all, anger surged within me. So that's what it was. I'll never forgive them. Determined, I discreetly left the plane and immediately contacted someone. From that moment, I prepared for thorough revenge. 1 month after overhearing Michael's conversation on the plane, I found myself in a restaurant. Bursting into a private room, I discovered Michael and the woman enjoying a meal together.
What the? Laura, why are you here?
Although he seemed surprised, I sat silently before them.
What's going on? Did you follow me?
Ignoring his raised eyebrows, I checked my watch. It's 8 p.m. now, right? Where's Liam?
Well. Today, my mom happened to take care of him.
Coincidentally, huh? I pulled out my phone, and as I operated it, audio began playing.
By the way, divorcing a wealthy wife and getting alimony and child support. Pretty clever, right?
If you use your brain, it's easy. Since my son is being raised by my mom, I get money without any hassle.
Their crude laughter followed. Michael paled.
What is this?
Remember when I accidentally sat behind you on the plane? I recorded the rest of that conversation, I calmly replied. Speaking of which, Michael, you've left Liam in your mom's care, haven't you? Michael's family consists of just his elderly mother. He's been leaving Liam with her.
What's wrong with getting help from my mom after the divorce? Mom is happy to take care of her grandchild.
Is that so? At that moment, I showed them my phone screen. There, my distressed ex-mother-in-law appeared, tearfully explaining how challenging it was for her to raise Liam alone despite her age. She had even heard from her son that I had abandoned Liam.
I thought I could handle it, but living on a pension is tough, and I'm at my limit.
You spun lies to your mom, portraying me as the villain. Then you exploited her sympathy to avoid paying for Liam's upbringing, didn't you? Michael stammered, unable to respond. You claimed in court that you'd raise him properly, but it was all a big lie. I replied firmly. There, as if losing patience, the woman Michael was with raised her voice.
What's your deal? Why are you here? Don't interfere.
And what about you? What's your name? What's your relationship with him?
I'm Sophia Williams, just a coworker.
Oh, a mere coworker, yet you're on a trip together? Before Sophia could respond, Michael spoke up.
Sophia and I are dating. But since we're divorced, you have no right to meddle.
Then what's the meaning of this conversation? I played the continuation of the recording from the plane.
You're such a bad dad. No affection for your child?
Of course I care. He's an important bargaining chip. But the one I truly love is still you.
You're a naughty guy, but I like that. Let's enjoy our second anniversary trip.
A brief silence settled over the table. Second anniversary? You mean from when we were married, right?
No, it's not like that.
Come on in. I called outside the private room. Andy, our mutual friend who played a role in my initial meeting with Michael, entered.
Hey, Michael. It's been a week. Finally, I get to set you straight.
I had confided in Andy, seeking his cooperation. He pretended to sever ties with me, all the while extracting testimony from my ex-husband by bad-mouthing me. He had orchestrated dinners together, including Sophia, pretending to deepen their friendship. When I revealed this to Michael, he lashed out at Andy.
You said Sophia was a better match for me than Laura and even blessed our relationship.
Sometimes lies serve a purpose. I can't forgive you for deceiving my dear friend, Laura.
Damn it, you traitor!
At that moment, Andy pulled out his phone and showed Michael something.
But here's the real kicker. I've also become close with Sophia and even connected on social media. Do you get it?
Sophia paled at Andy's revelation. She had been posting evidence of her relationship with my ex-husband on a private social media account for the past 2 years. Thanks to that, I've gathered irrefutable proof of his infidelity. I owe Andy my gratitude. I stated matter-of-factly. Michael covered his face with his hands, visibly distressed. Smiling, I continued. From Sophia's social media posts, it's clear she brought Michael into her company. Now you work together as salespeople, and your lovey-dovey posts suggest more than just professional camaraderie during office hours. Michael stammered.
Well, what's wrong with working together?
I replied firmly. Being lovey-dovey is fine, but sneaking off to a hotel during work hours is unacceptable. It turned out that Sophia had falsely claimed business trips while secretly meeting Michael at hotels, all documented on social media. Michael's face turned pale.
Just pretend you didn't see that.
Too bad. Right before coming here, I emailed the evidence to your company's representative. I'm curious to see what they'll say tomorrow. As I said this with a smile, Michael and Sophia began to panic, their heated argument escalating. It was almost entertaining to watch.
Are you trying to ruin us?
I turned serious. I'll never forgive you for scheming with your affair partner, taking Liam away, and using me as an ATM. We'll go through court or whatever it takes to get my son back.
Wait.
And I'll return the alimony you received. Be prepared. I'll also claim compensation for both of you and your affair partner. With that final declaration, Michael slumped, defeated. Leaving him and a panicked Sophia behind, I walked away with Andy. Afterward, I formally requested that Michael relinquish custody of our son. Perhaps realizing he had no chance in court, he agreed to transfer custody. Additionally, I managed to reclaim the alimony I had paid. As for Michael and Sophia, their workplace affair was exposed, leading to their dismissal. However, I showed no mercy, demanding $16,000 each in compensation for their infidelity. Michael lost his relationship with his mother as well and ended up burdened with debt alongside Sophia. Their relationship soured due to the financial strain. Currently, Michael lives alone in a run-down apartment, working tirelessly to repay debts and provide child support. His life appears quite challenging, but I feel no sympathy. On the other hand, I've regained custody of my son and am raising him with the help of my family. Despite my busy job, I'm committed to parenting. My 2-year-old son is a mama's boy, and he's utterly adorable. I've vowed never to let go of him again.
How did you find this story? If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing to our channel. Until next time.